Welcome to your November 2024 Vedic Astrology update. It's an incredibly transformative month. This is a month where a lot can move for us. We are past the eclipses now, and we are being called into deep transformation with a lot of energy and planets moving through Scorpio. Yes, it's Scorpio season. It's also at the beginning of the month. We have Diwali, the Festival of Light. We have big heavyweight Saturn going direct. That's finally going to get some things into motion that have felt stalled for a while. We've got Mercury retrograde coming up also this month. Yes, it's retrograde Mercury again, but it only happens 3 times a year. And this is a very powerful retrograde because it's changing the element of signs that it's retrograding in. I will break all of this down on what it means for you so that you can make really good use of this information, so you can go with the flow of the energy, understand the cosmic weather, and use it to your advantage. Know when to lean back, know when to step in. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Prema, and welcome to my channel. I'm so grateful that you're here. If you have not subscribed, I so appreciate you subscribing and liking and sharing this. Also, if you haven't taken the Sacred Wealth Code Archetype quiz, the link is down below where you can find out one of your Sacred Wealth Code Archetypes along with the free chart calculator so you can understand what your Vedic Astrology Ascendant and Moon is. It'll help you make even more sense of this update, and it comes with a really nice free guide to help you to understand the houses in your chart as well. And this is a powerful, transformative month with a lot of energy in Scorpio. It doesn't all start out there, but we do start the month with Venus and Mercury both in Scorpio and the Sun joining them mid-month. And it's really calling us to transform something deep in our life. Scorpio is this place where things transform in the dark, in the depths over time. It's a very mystical sign. It has this energy of really deep wisdom. It's water that's fixed, meaning that it's like water in the form of ice. So it's very solid and stable and loyal. But at the same time, you know, Scorpios, you cross the resentment line with when you have strong planets in Scorpio, and sometimes there's no coming back from that. But the Scorpio is ruled by Mars, the honorable warrior, and which I have behind me here, and also the engineer. And this is the place where we fight our inner battles. It's not about fighting with each other, although on the surface it can come out that way, but it's really where we face off with our shadow. And we do have a shadow, but the thing is that our light is locked up in the shadow. Our gifts are locked up in the shadow. I talk a lot about that and move you through that through practices in the Sacred Wealth Journey program that I just got done teaching live and is completely available still for $22. The link is down below where it's 11 incredibly transformative days. I invite you to step into that program. You can do it at your own pace, and it is super powerful for stepping into your gifts, knowing your purpose, activating your wealth code, and stepping out of the shadow. Scorpio is a place where we take our power back. And again, it's like transforming that wine, that grapes into wine over time, making the elixir out of something that we choose to work with over time. But on the shadow side, we can get caught in our emotions and our drama because that Scorpio energy wants to feel like something's going on. So if we're not digging deep, we're going to create something on the surface so it seems like we have to deal with something. You get to choose. That's the beautiful thing, is we are always at choice. No matter what your chart is, no matter what the energy is, you always have the choice, and especially the choice to overcome your soul challenges. We are starting the month with Mars in Cancer. Mars in Cancer is very much the engineer in the Sacred Wealth Code Archetype system. Again, Mars also is represented by the Honorable Warrior on the picture on the wall behind me if you're viewing this on video. And it's going to be here for a long time. This Mars transit is Mars is in since the 21st in Cancer, and it literally will be there and in Gemini for a short period of time and back in Cancer because it's going to retrograde all the way till June of next year. We have a really long stay. Mars only retrogrades every 2 years. So Mars will go retrograde not till December. I'll talk about that a little bit more then, but December 6th, it'll retrograde. But meanwhile, I just want you to understand, because this is playing out for everyone, Cancer is this watery, devotional sign that's actually ruled by the moon. And the moon is a friend to Mars. So even though it's debilitated here, it's in the sign of a friend. And the reason it's debilitated is because Mars, being more of that warrior, that like productive, like let's get things done, let's manage things, let's be the boss, well, and let's be the warrior, doesn't really belong in home and family. And Cancer is so much about home and family and devotion. But everything is good for something. You just need to know what it's good for. So even though it is debilitating in this placement, that means it's not strong for what it's usually strong for. Then we're going to need to have some extra patience and just take a bit of a chill pill when it comes to getting things done, or maybe the way we take a stand for things. Mars is either pissy or super passionate about things. There's not a lot in between. This is a place where we can cultivate more of the in between. This is the place that the honorable warrior really needs to be in your spiritual discipline, because that keeps us really grounded and keeps us centered, and knowing when to take a stand, taking a step back and not being reactive and triggered by emotions, but instead choosing how we are going to process our energy, how we're going to manage our emotions. See, because we can get caught in our emotions here, and there can be a lot of emotional stability. I believe either we manage our emotions or our emotions manage us. Even when we're doing conscious creation, manifesting, which I refer to as conscious creation, I have a whole module about this in my programs because it's such an important energy, is we're consciously creating, and emotional energy is part of that. It's the vibrational currency, but we can choose how to feel and how to use that energy instead of just being, reaction and having emotions come up just because of triggers. Those triggers are to show you where you have places to heal yet, where you're still stuck in the shadow, and we all are. And that's fine. Let's just do our healing work. This is one of the beautiful things that will come up with Mars in Cancer, is that some of the places that are yet to be healed on an emotional level will get triggered. When they do, it's time to dig in. It's time to do the inner work. You can come to the full moon healing circle. There's healing in all my programs and all that work. Inner processes, reframing things, doing a lot of forgiveness work, all is very useful during this time. We are going to feel some collective emotional tension, and this is going to go on for a while. And this is starting here in November and, during election season and all the things. So keep your cool. How do you keep your cool? You stay grounded. Mars likes to sweat. All of us need to exercise, take the edge off. Also, in keeping your cool, what are you on purpose for? If you know what you're waking up and you're being called to every day, and you're pouring your energy into that, and you're attending to your own joy and to the people around you, then you're less likely to get triggered by something that isn't so close to home. And there's going to be potentially, and let's hold the collective prayers that it doesn't show up this way, but it's likely will. It's the cosmic weather. That this emotional tension means there's going to be static in the field where there's going to be people being triggered, and because of that creating, and because of all the media and social media and everything else, be careful on what you react to. Be careful, we want to be responsive, not reactive. Be very careful what you're reacting to. Is it even something real? Because we can just get in those triggered places. So I would say reel it in to what sphere of influences are and what your information you're taking in, and making sure that you're not getting sucked into the fear, the hype, any of those things. This is incredibly useful to dive deep. Let's get into the meditation practice. Let's get grounded. Let's get our feet on the ground. Let's get physically in your body, yoga, martial arts, lift weights, run, whatever your thing is, okay? If you've got that frustrated emotions going on, that frustrated energy is the sign, and kind of going into the pissy realm, that you're not connected to your passion. This is great work to do here at the beginning of the month. What is your passion? We dig into that in the Sacred Wealth Code journey. What is your passion? And the passion doesn't have to be your passion for what you're doing as far as your work in the world. Your passion could, one of my passions is growing things and nurturing things and gardening. And I don't do that to make money, but it's something that feeds me. and then I have the fuel to show up here and really be on purpose. So we must be connected to our purpose. So chanting and dance and yoga is very, very good for this energy because it's steady, it's rhythmic, it has a beat, and that happens to be something that's very soothing for Mars. We just want to prevent the volcano from erupting. Watch your communications, especially with loved ones. Tap into more of the energy of the communicator. It's all about being responsive as opposed to being reactive. But if we're not going to be reactive, that means we have to heal, and we have to heal our triggers. Otherwise, we're walking around with a trigger that's ready to go off. We're going to be talking about this for months. It's going to be going on for a while here. So, and you Martians, meaning you Aries ascendants and also Scorpio ascendants, this is a purpose house it's not a purpose house for both signs. It's the 4th house for Aries, and it is the 9th house for Scorpio. These are good houses. This is a place where you may not get things done as quick as you would like, but it's going to reveal to you deeper levels of your purpose. For Scorpio ascendants, home and family. It's the natural house of home and family. For property, for Aries ascendants or moons. And so we just want to take things at a slower pace and just not be reactive. Again, responsive as opposed to reactive. If that's all you got about the whole Mars in Cancer thing, that will guide your way. We have a new moon in Libra. My times are Pacific time on November 1st. Now, this is also the Festival of Light. And so this is a really powerful new moon in Libra, and which is really that sign of relationship and balance. We'll do a whole video on this. So tune into the video for the new moon for all the details about that. New moon's a start of a new cycle. It's a powerful start of a new cycle. And it's this individuation along with that balance in relationship, and how do we have and create those relationships. But this gives us a beautiful restart to the next lunar cycle. In my new membership, the Sacred Wealth Collective, which is really a community for men and women both alike, activating your true potential, aligning with your soul purpose to manifest wealth in your unique way, but wealth in your spirituality, in your bank account, emotionally, physically, financially, all the ways. And I always do a new moon reading within the group. I do it live. It's on a private app, and a monthly energetic training to help us navigate the energy of the month. And I do personal readings within any of my readings that I do. I also do a live Q&A every month in that program, that membership, and the Full Moon Healing Circle is also part of that. And also there's resources, meditations, clearing processes, archetype trainings. It's a great, wonderful membership, great deal. It's $110 a month, or you can get the whole year for $1111. So the link is down below for the membership. Love to see you in the membership. November 6th, Venus is moving from Scorpio into Sagittarius, and it'll be there till December 1st. So Scorpio, with this Venus energy in Scorpio, we might be a little deep in our relationships, a little brooding in our relationships, potentially even over emotional, or old issues are coming to the relationship issues are coming to the surface, or wanting to, but are you willing to dig deep into what the resolution is? Until we get to November 6th, that Scorpio energy is at play. And there's a thing about privacy and secrecy. They're different. A lot of times Scorpio is called a very secret sign. I would say it has a lot of privacy on the positive side. Secrecy is more on the shadow side. Secrecy is something that somebody else has all the rights to know, and you're keeping it from them. Privacy is your own business. It is not up to anybody else. So that energy will shift on November 6th, and we are going to move into Sagittarius energy. Now, this is beautiful because Sagittarius is owned by Jupiter, our great sage, and that is going retrograde currently in Taurus, and it's in Taurus until May of 2025. Great place. We're reassessing our values and such. Talked a lot about that already. They're in what's called a Prema yoga. So that means we've got the great connector and the sage are acting like they're in each other's signs, or in their own sign because they're in each other's signs. So this is a very uplifting energy. We've got both the brightest planets, helping us to understand more of our beliefs. Sagittarius, our higher teachings, they're both Brahmin planets. They're of the spiritual caste. And they're bringing a lot of light into a darker time. It's a darker time in the Northern Hemisphere. We're going to want to lean into this energy it's a positive time for higher education. What do you want to learn about? For the arts, for traveling, more for like that pilgrimage and that spiritual traveling during this time. Anything educational, it's time to learn about, or maybe you're learning about something, it's time to dig in deeper. It's time to be close to your teachers, your coaches, your gurus, those you are looking to for mentoring and teaching. A great time to receive more and to have your path receive more light and to help you really transform the energy of this month. You want to lean into this Venus, wealth, beauty, relationships, but in this beautiful sign of Sagittarius. It's good for wealth and for money matters. Just stay present and allow yourself some joy. It's a great place to lean into having some fun and some joy and really reconnecting with your purpose at a certain level. A great time for a gratitude journal if you're not already doing that. And one thing that really takes the gratitude practice even deeper, gratitude is the energy of receivership. When we are grateful for something we're receiving. So if we're grateful for things we're wanting to call in, we are in the energy of receivership. So much of why we don't create what we want is because we don't open up our receiving codes, our receiving portals. I'll be doing a deep practice with the membership and also with my mastermind around embracing the energy of gratitude in the month of November. So in your gratitude, you want to also bring attention to why you are as grateful for what you're grateful for, and you will deepen that practice. We have a powerful full moon in Aries on November 15th. This is at 29 degrees. We had a full moon. Our last full moon was at the very beginning of Aries. It wasn't even a degree into Aries. And this is at the very last degree. So we have 2 full moons in a row in Aries, right at the bookends of Aries. In order to have a full moon, we have the sun and the moon opposite. So as the moon is at the tail end of Aries, the sun is coming out of debilitation, is at the very tail end of Libra, where it's been currently for the first half of the month debilitated. We'll talk about that in just a moment. And this full moon, I will do a full moon healing circle. The link is down below. We are going to really work with this energy of Kritika. Kritika is a very sharp energy. It helps us to make a radical change. It is a time to breathe life into our big plans, our big goals. We might have set those on the last full moon, but Saturn was aspecting the last full moon, and in its retrograde, and Saturn goes direct also on the 15th. So this is a very different energy. So if you have big plans and goals that felt like they were delayed, again, I'll do a whole update on this, but this full moon is going to really activate that forward momentum with those plans. Saturn's coming out of retrograde, which is going to be so helpful. Now, the Aries energy wants to move fast, but our Mars is debilitated during this time, as I talked about. So we need to work with that energy and develop a little bit of patience, okay? And use the remedies I spoke about for the debilitated Mars. If you're feeling constricted in your Aries energy, sun, moon, ascendant, in that Aries energy, okay? Just bringing some awareness again around that Mars energy. It's a big energy. November 15th, Saturn goes direct in Aquarius. This was a long retrograde, and it's in the sign of innovation, humanitarianism. It's a collective consciousness. This is restructuring our social norms and progressive, positive change. It has been here since the beginning of 2023. And it'll be here into, I forget the exact date, but it's going to be moving in, I think April or May in 2025 into Pisces. And again, I'm talking Vedic astrology, the Psi zodiac. This is the true placement of the planets. So Saturn retrograde slows things down. Now, Saturn is slow anyway. And Saturn is very potent when it is standing still, and it's doing that around the 15th of the month as it turns direct, as it picks up some speed again. It's a long, long transit. It wants to build things for the long haul, and it's been in this area of the sky for a while now. And it is really going to help us to start to get some projects that have been stalled moving again, some external forward momentum. Saturn is our great administrator and our great organizer, and is all about creating structure, creating order to things, but it's the planet of truth or consequences. So if you're not on your true path, Saturn will trip you up so that you hopefully wake up to what is true, which is leading from the inside out. Wherever Aquarius is for you is where it's going to play out. It is very much around career and finances starting to move forward, projects starting to move forward. But if you're a Virgo ascendant, it's in your sixth house of health and work-life balance, healthy routines are going to be able to be easier to do those. If you're a Capricorn ascendant, it's your second house of family values and wealth, arta, money. Those things will start to move forward and become more clear. So again, the chart calculator helps you to understand where it's happening in your chart and helps you understand those houses. Our sun, the leader, is going to transit Scorpio and move in there on November 15th. See how much is happening right at the middle of the month. We have this big shift, okay? And it's going to move from Libra, where it was bringing balance, to our relationships in a way that causes us to step back a little bit, because that's what the debilitated sun is. The debilitated sun is more about it's all me, but in Libra, it for the first half of the month, it was really taking a step back, so that sometimes can influence our confidence and asking us to let the light shine on others as well. So this will bring a boost of energy to our confidence. Scorpio is a very activated sign since May, when Jupiter moved across the zodiac into Taurus there. And the sun here is going to get also the aspect of Jupiter, but Saturn's been aspecting this part of the chart as well. You'll again to be able to see changes in whatever Scorpio is for you. So if you're a Scorpio ascendant, this is you personally. You're going to feel more invigorated. The light is going to be shining on you. Mars rules this placement, but it is debilitated. So let's go back to managing our emotions. We're going to need to use that again. So again, Mars is playing out not just because of where it is, but because of the other signs being activated, Aries, Scorpio. And you want to choose your battles wisely, okay? Be aware of taking a stand of what you're for and not so much of what you're against. Again, let's respond instead of react. In order to respond, you've got to be in yourself, not out of yourself. So you need to be in your spiritual practice. You need to be grounded. You need to be working with your own shadow. And Scorpio is very much about working with our own shadow. This will illuminate the transformation that has been, indicated for you by what does Scorpio represent. So if it's, it's your second house of money, maybe that's what's the transformation's happening in that. Maybe it's your 10th house of career and business, and there's a deep transformation going on that. This is the time to take action with the sun in this place, and what you put your energy into, you'll be able to see the results from that. Mercury, our great communicator, is going retrograde. It'll retrograde from November 25th until December 15th. This is Mercury in Scorpio. Now, what is really interesting about this is that Mercury, it retrogrades 3 times a year. It has a gift for you wherever it's retrograding. And it retrogrades in a triplicity of houses that are the same element. This will all be water signs. This is the first retrograde that is fully in the water signs, and it'll be in the water signs for the next year. The last year, it was doing a dance between fire, and then between fire and water. So whatever the water constellations are for you, they're either a purpose house, a spiritual house, a relational house, or a wealth house. So if you are a Libra ascendant, it's going to be retrograding in all your wealth houses. If you're a Scorpio ascendant, it's going to be retrograding in all your purpose houses. And so on. So every time Mercury retrogrades, it's taking a closer look. It's spending a couple of months in a sign, and it's taking a closer look. And so on a soul level, you're reevaluating that purpose for a whole year, that wealth for a whole year. And so it's good to be aware of what's going on underneath the surface. Mercury won't leave Scorpio until January 3rd. Okay, so again, the typical things about Mercury retrograde: on the day that it goes retrograde, it's the day before, the day after, which is going to again be like the 24th, 25th, 26th of November, and then December 14th, 15th, and 16th. You want to be really aware of those are the days it's the bumpiest. You know, don't do big technology purchases. Don't make a huge commitment or sign a big agreement during those days if you can help it. If you can't help it, life has to go on during Mercury retrograde. Make clear decisions. Get the counsel that you need. Make sure you're not moving from reaction, especially with the Scorpio energy, okay? But you will be reevaluating, rethinking, and when it goes direct, that's the time where you're going to get the clarity, that brilliance of Mercury, that clarity, that energy of more of the messenger coming in with the clarity that you need. So don't push making choices that you don't need to make. Wait till clarity comes. Clarity is power. And December 15th is when that Mercury will go direct again. This is a very powerful time of transformation. You know, all this energy in Scorpio. So I want to invite you to, again, manage your energy. Drink a lot of water. Be grounded. Water is grounding, getting in bodies of water, including the bath and the shower. Get your feet on the ground. Use your body. Exercise. Mars likes to sweat. That takes the edge off so that you can be more responsive and less reactive. Your spiritual discipline. Make this month of November a time to dive into gratitude, to dive into whatever your spiritual practice is, your meditation practice. Hone your energy from the inside out. We work with all of this in all my programs. If you want to build a business, that's the Solutionary Mastermind, or you're going to the next level in your career. The membership is for everybody who wants to get on purpose, step into their gifts and their highest potential, and get out of their shadow. And of course, I am available for private readings and for private mentorship, which I hold a handful of private clients at a time to really dive deep and help them navigate all areas of life and what they're creating and what they're elevating into next. So I'm so glad that you're here. I'd love to hear what's coming up for you. What are you being challenged with? What are you committed to stepping into? And what is your spiritual practice so that you can manage your energy and your emotions so it doesn't manage you? I appreciate you liking. I appreciate you subscribing. And I look forward to seeing you very soon.